रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम पढ़ेंगे मेनेंजीज। Meninges is the membranous covering. It's the membranous envelope of the brain. It cover and protect the brain. Okay. Meninges को हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे. Meninges is the membranous covering of the brain. This is the brain, the two hemisphere, the brainstem and spinal cord. Okay. Meninges is the membranous covering and protect the brain. Okay. The meninges is made up of three layers, three type of membranes. Okay. The first one is the pia mater. Pia mater. Pia means soft and mater mean mother. Soft mother. This membrane, this layer is very thin, very delicate and very soft. It's cover the brain and the first layer on the brain. It is high vascular. This pia mater is high vascular and the first layer from this is the first layer, the soft mother which cover the brain. It's very soft, very high vascular. This is the pia mater and very thin membrane. This is a very thin membrane and cover the brain. Okay. The second layer is the arachnoid matter. Arachnoid matter. Arachnoid means spider like, spider, and matter mean mother. So this layer, the second layer is the spider like. Okay. The second layer of the brain is like spider. This is the middle layer and the second layer from below to above, this is called the arachnoid matter. Okay. The space in between these two matter, this is the pia matter, this is the arachnoid matter, and the space in between these two is called subarachnoid space. Okay. This is the arachnoid matter. This space is the subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space. The third layer of the membrane is the dura mater. Dura mater. Dura mean tough, thick, hard. It's the outermost layer which is very thick and very hard layer of the brain. This is the third layer which is called the dura mater. It's very thick and hard layer. Okay. It's the tough mother, it's the hard. The space in between dura mater and arachnoid matter is the subdural space. Subdural space. The subdural, the dura mater have two layers, have two edges, the outer and the inner edges. Like I explain in this diagram, this is the scalp. ये स्कल्प है, स्कल्प के नीचे दिस इज दी स्कल बोन. Yes, this is the parietal, interior, on interior is the frontal, on posterior is the occipital. Just below the occipital, parietal, temporal bone, a membrane which is called the dura mater. This is the dura, ये dura mater है ना, dura mater. Dura mater की दो एजेस है, above, below. वो एज जो बोन के साथ अटैच कर रहा है, दिस इज द स्कल बोन एंड दिस लेयर is the outer layer and attached with the bone. This is called the periosteal layer. Periosteal layer. And this edge, this one is the meningeal layer. Meningeal layer. And the space in between these two, this is the epidural space. Epidural space. Below this dura mater, arachidoid matter is present. This is the arachidoid matter, okay, and this space is the subarachnoid space, and below the dura mater is the pia mater. This is the pia mater, which is a very thin and cover the brain, and below this layer the brain is present. This is the brain. This is the brain. Okay. So, this is the brain. The first layer, very thin layer, is the pia mater, and the space, this space is the and the second layer is the arachnoid matter, and the space in between arachnoid matter and pia mater is the subarachnoid space, and this layer is the dura mater, and the space in between dura mater and arachnoid matter is the subdural, and the space in between the bone and the dura mater, this space is called the epidural space. Okay. Then the bone, the epidural space have two edges, have two margin, the periosteal and the meningeal layer. Okay students. अच्छा, अब देखिए यहाँ पे एक फोरेमन है which is called the foramen magnum, जहाँ से स्पाइनल कॉर्ड डिसेंड हो रहा है. ठीक है. तो ये सारे मेम्ब्रेन जो 3 लेयर का है ये डिसेंड करेगा, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड को भी कवर करेगा. जस्ट जो पेरियोस्टियल लेयर है वो फोरेमन मैग्नम के साथ अटैच करेगा, नीचे डिसेंड नहीं करेगा. ओके, मींस ये मेनिंजेस जो है आल्सो कवर द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. सो द फर्स्ट लेयर इज द pia mater. This is the pia mater. The second one is the arachnoid mater, and the third one is the dura mater, having the layer, only one layer descend, which is called the meningeal layer. Okay. The space in between the arachnoid matter and pia mater, this is called subarachnoid space, having a fluid which is called the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid is released from the choroid plexus. Okay. Then protect the brain and present in this space, the subdural space. अच्छा स्टूडेंट देखिए, इसमें हेमाटोमा भी हो सकता है, क्लॉट, जब ब्लड क्लॉट इन तीनों स्पेस में जिधर भी ब्लड क्लॉट होगा तो उसी जगह का जो नेम है उसी नेम से हम इसको प्रेजेंट करेंगे. लेट सपोज अगर हेमाटोमा जो है वो बोन के नीचे इधर प्रेजेंट हो तो ये एपिड्यूरल स्पेस है, तो अगर इसमें हेमाटोमा हो, क्लॉट हो, तो हम इसको कहेंगे एपिड्यूरल हेमाटोमा. अगर इस स्पेस में प्रेजेंट हो तो इसको हम कहते हैं सबड्यूरल हेमाटोमा. अगर इस स्पेस में प्रेजेंट हो तो हम इसको कहते हैं सबअरachnoid हेमाटोमा. तो हेमाटोमा भी प्रेजेंट हो सकता है. ओके, वंस अगेन इसको मैं रिवाइज करूं. मेनिंजेस इज द मेम्ब्रेनियस कवरिंग ऑफ द ब्रेन. इट्स द एनवेलप ऑफ द ब्रेन विच प्रोटेक्ट एंड कवर द ब्रेन. ओके. Meninges is made up of 3 layers. The first one is the pia mater, which cover the brain, which is very thin, very delicate, very soft, and it's very high vascular. It is the high vascular pia mater. The second one is the arachnoid mater, which is present in between the pia and dura mater, which also cover the brain. It's spider like. Okay. The third one is the Dura mater, it is a very tough, very thick layer of the meninges, having two edges. The outer edge which attach with bones, which is called the periosteal layer, and the below which is attached with the arachnoid, this is called the meningeal layer. These meninges, these three layers also descend and cover the spinal cord. Okay, students.